borderline criminal, and one could even go so far as to say insane for the Unitarian Universalist Association to not only bring this false accusation against me, but refuse to withdraw it after I've presented plenty of evidence that it's false. Very, very soon after they made that accusation, I made it very, very clear to Maitre Colombe that my blog posts about Reverend Mac W. Mitchell and Richard Buell, who were the only two Unitarian Universalist rapists that I'd actually blogged about up until the point in time that letter was written, even though I knew of others. They were absolutely not unfounded. They were based on newspaper reports. There wasn't really anything in my blog post that couldn't be read in a newspaper article. So it's hardly hate speech to be protesting against the utterly shameful misuse of Canada's blasphemy law to hide clergy abuse. But getting back to what the young lady said, accusing me of hate speech, this is a typical response. She glares at me with this if looks could kill kind of look, and she accuses me of hate speach. She's angry at me for displaying these picket signs, but she doesn't seem terribly angry about Unitarian Universalists misusing blasphemy law to cover up and hide pedophilia and rape. And it makes me wonder, to what extent she's even angry about Unitarian Universalists engaging in such despicable crimes of pedophilia and rape. She seems more angry at my protest than being angry at the pedophiles and rapists that bring shame to her religious community. And the UUA leaders who, add to that shame by trying to intimidate me into removing blog posts about Unitarian Universalist sex criminals by falsely accusing me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel. Seems to me that those people are rather more deserving of criticism than I am. And as I said, if they hadn't actually done these things, I wouldn't be displaying these picket signs. I'd have no justification for displaying these picket signs. But unfortunately, the readily verifiable truth is on my side. Unitarian Universalists, in their fourth principle, claim to believe in a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. So, they claim as one of their core principles that people, should engage in, unrestricted and responsible, keyword there, responsible search for truth and meaning. If this young lady and other Unitarian Universalists actually did engage in a free and genuinely responsible search for the truth and meaning of what's written on these picket signs, they would discover that they're highly truthful. And they would discover that top-level UUA leadership have, in fact, behaved in a immoral and unethical manner in falsely accusing me of blasphemous libel in an effort to intimidate me into removing blog posts about Unitarian Universalist sex offenders like Reverend Mac W. Mitchell, Richard Buell, and so on. But no, they're really not interested in dealing with that truth. They much prefer to blame the victim, in this case the victim of false blasphemous libel charges, or I shouldn't say charges, because I haven't actually been charged. I won't be charged, I'm quite sure, because the basis for the accusation is so patently false. But no, I'm the bad guy. I'm the I'm the evildoer because I'm protesting against misuse of blasphemy law. Entirely truthful statement, my friend.
Just be careful, Robbie.
What? Actually, I think it's the UUA that ought to be careful. It really should never have tried to misuse Canada's blasphemy law to cover up and hide pedophilia and rape, which is exactly what it did. So this guy's telling me to be careful. Wow, it's been more than 2 years since this accusation was brought against me. I have repeatedly challenged both the UUA and Stikeman Elliott to bring it on, you know, have me charged, let's go to court, let's have a actual trial and let the judge rule on whether or not I'm guilty of the criminal act of blasphemous libel. But, you know, more than 2.5 years later, they haven't done so. They may have tried. It's possible that they actually did make an effort to have me charged and were laughed out of the courtroom by a judge or prosecutor or whatever. You know, they might have actually gone to the SPVM and tried to have me arrested for blasphemous libel, and then basically had the SPVM tell them, well, sorry, but you know, you have no evidence supporting your blasphemous libel accusation against the guy. We can't arrest him on the basis of his allegedly unfounded and vicious accusations, especially since even if I actually was making unfounded and vicious, well, this is going to be fun. So somebody just backed into another car. We'll see how Unitarians handle little traffic. It'll probably be okay. It doesn't look like much damage was done. Anyway, getting back to what the gentleman said, you know, you'd better be careful. Well, actually, I am careful. And I've been careful about what I say about Unitarian Universalist clergy misconduct, other Unitarian Universalist injustices and abuses. And that is one of the reasons why, you know, I'm still out here protesting, because Unitarian Universalists aren't really in a position to do very much about it, because I'm telling the truth. You know, I'm very, very careful about not only being very truthful and having evidence supporting what I'm saying, but you know, being as accurate as possible. You know, if there's a bit of an inaccuracy, I will try to correct it. You know, the picket sign slogans can only say so much. You know, picket sign slogans have to be fairly general statements. You know, the longer a picket sign slogan is, the less likely anyone's going to finish reading it. So, nonetheless, the picket sign slogans that I'm holding in my hands right now are very, very truthful, supported by the actual cease and desist demand letter that I was served with on, well, in June of 2012. I first received the cease and desist demand letter by email, and that was on Friday, June 1st of 2012. I was later served the actual paper document by a bailiff. Good day, sir. So it's you know, just amazing how oblivious Unitarian Universalists are to the immoral and unethical behavior of their leaders and clergy. You know, I've been showing these signs for some months now, and I have raised the issue at the Unitarian Church of Montreal during sharing joys and concerns, and yet hardly any Unitarian Universalist has shown, you know, any real concern about this most recent Unitarian Universalist perversion of justice. And actually, when it gets right down to it, it's the most recent in terms of me personally, but it's not the most recent perversion of justice at all. Good morning. The perhaps most recent in terms of clergy sexual misconduct that I'm aware of, because there may be some I'm not aware of, but in terms of what I'm aware of, I would say that it was a perversion of justice for UUA moderator Jim Key to stand up in front of thousands of Unitarian Universalists during his moderator's report at the Unitarian Universalist Association's General Assembly on, I believe it was June 27th of 2014, so less than a year ago. And in what was supposed to be an official apology to victims of Unitarian Universalist clergy sexual misconduct, UUA moderator Jim Key claimed in his so-called apology that there were no incidents of abuse of children or elders in my investigations. That's an exact quote. There were no incidents of sexual, or no, he didn't actually say sexual. He said there were no incidents of abuse of children or elders in my investigations. So what's he saying there? Well, he's saying that he did investigate Unitarian Universalist clergy sexual misconduct. And he's saying that, in those investigations that he conducted, he found no evidence of abuse of children or elders. Well, unfortunately, I personally told UUA moderator Jim Key about Reverend Mac W. Mitchell's rape of teenage Tibetan refugees. The fact that Reverend Mac Mitchell was actually convicted of the forcible rape of teenage Tibetan refugees who he'd lured away from their families in India with promises of a better life in America, and proceeded to rape them over a period measured in years.